In the first sentence of the Tao Te Ching, Lao Tzu warns that the subject matter of his book cannot be adequately explained in words. Right at the start, he says, "The Tao that can be told is not the eternal Tao." I feel the same way when trying to explain how it feels to travel by motorcycle. The riding that can be described in a YouTube video is not the actual riding. Even so, I think that some of what writing does to me can be experienced through other means. Words are not enough, but as Lao Tzu with the Tao Te Ching, I'll try my best to point out at some sort of truth. My hope is that this resonates with you somehow. I like how Robert Pirsig compares riding to driving in Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance. He says, "You see things vacationing on a motorcycle in a way that is completely different from any other. In a car, you're always in a compartment, and because you're used to it, you don't realize that through that car window, everything you see is just more TV. You're a passive observer, and it is all moving by you boringly in a frame. On a cycle, the frame is gone. You're completely in contact with it all. You are in the scene, not just watching it anymore, and the sense of presence is overwhelming. That concrete whizzing by 5 inches below your foot is the real thing. The same stuff you walk on, it's right there. It's so blurred you can't focus on it, yet you can put your foot down and touch it anytime. And the whole thing, the whole experience, is never removed from immediate consciousness." This immediacy is what I want to talk about. The activity of motorcycling is at once captivating and fleeting. The world around me is made more immediate because of that sense of presence that Pirsig refers to. Riding dominates my senses, it overloads them in such a way that I am fully immersed and focused in the moment, in a heightened state. All of these stimuli coming my way also mean I'm incapable of feeling all of it, or even remembering most of what I do feel. It happened many times already during the trip that I felt I wouldn't be able to properly remember a section of the road or a certain view. That the world flows to me through my senses, but that it's hard to grab parts of it and commit them to memory. In modern terms, you could say it's more like streaming the world than downloading it. And in a way, the less you try to process the moment and understand it, the more of it you feel. Let me try to explain. In a linguistics class on the verb system in English, I was taught how the present tense in verb conjugation refers to an elastic amount of time that we call now. Now covers a different amount of time before and after the actual instance in which we find ourselves. For example, if you ever found yourself in sudden danger, for example by falling down a bicycle, you might have felt as though the present was dilating, as though every second lasted longer. In that rush of adrenaline, you reach some sort of hyper-awareness of your surroundings. Your pupils dilate, and in a fraction of a second, you're able to assess the situation, and either through pure instincts or quick thinking, you might find a way to avoid the worst. By riding a bike, I can induce that state of hyper-awareness. I just need to push the pace a little bit, open the throttle a little bit more while coming out of a curve, and I can feel time dilate. In a weird way, it's like meditation. You end up focusing more directly on your senses, and your attention is directed towards right now. Your mind is focused on your breathing, on how the handlebars feel in your hands, on the sound of the wind blowing on your helmet. When in such a state, no attention is given to yesterday or even about a minute ago. And I'm certainly not thinking about what I should eat later tonight. The present, or what I perceive from the world and think about in that instant, which to me feels like the present, only covers a few seconds, only what is happening immediately. So there are two aspects to this immediacy of motorcycling. On one hand, everything is coming at you so fast and there's so much to see that your senses are amplified and you feel more. The world is made more immediate because it's made louder, closer to you. On the other hand, you're so focused in the instant that all you see and think about is the present, the immediate present. I was riding in the mountains of Baja California when I realized this. I thought to myself, wow, I feel so alive and stimulated, and it seems like I just spent an hour not thinking about anything else. It was an amazing feeling, but I also felt a sadness. I was sad that this moment would come to pass, and that I wouldn't be able to relive it in memories. Even as I'm recording this audio, I only have an abstract memory of what I really felt and saw in that moment. But I've since come to accept this. It's because these instants are so rich with sensations and emotions that I can't hope to memorize them. That I get to experience them in the first place is reason enough to be happy. And whenever I find myself missing the astonishment of looking down a giant valley, the rush of leaning just a little bit more in a curve, I can always just put on my helmet, find a nice road, and experience this immediacy that excites me so much.
Es casi imposible seguir hasta esa velocidad.